Hey, what's up everybody? So this one is more of a serious topic. So yesterday I put a post on my page and I just want to read it. Heal your inner feminine by forgiving your mother for the times she let her own pain manifest into yours. I'm going to read that again. Heal your inner feminine by forgiving your mother for the times she let her own pain manifest into yours. Now, I believe a couple of months ago, I did a live feed about, it was mainly about my son and dealing with, autism and things of that nature. And in that video, I ended up discussing how a lot of moms go through things in their lives and they don't solve it, and it ends up being passed on to their children. So there's things, a lot of things that happen, and it's like I kind of want to not share my own personal story, but then sharing my own personal story is all that I know, so that I can help somebody else. But what I will do is I'll generalize it. Okay, so back in the day, right, way back in the day, molestation was seen as normal, And matter of fact, I'm going to use the example from Women Thou Art Loose, all right? Some women, they were molested, right? As a child or as a teenager and things of that nature. And it's not justifiable, but some women did it for certain reasons. So it either helped them keep a man around, or it helped a bill in the house get paid, or it just happened, and it's just not right. And a lot of times these women, they don't get help for it. So it kind of is okay, this happened, this is normal, life goes on, let's sweep it under the rug, and that's it. So then they have a child, right? Which could be a daughter or a son. And when this same issue happens to their daughter or son, they don't get their daughter or son help. Why? Because in their time when it happened to them, it was normal. You didn't discuss it. You just swept it under the rug. You just denied it. And I remember in that movie, Women Thou Art Loose, which was one of my favorite movies. Hi, Lee. How are you? The mother, her daughter was being molested by her boyfriend. And the mom, she didn't know, or maybe she didn't know, because a lot of times they do know, but they don't want to mess up their current situation. Hey, Anita. And what happened was the young girl, she grew up broken. She grew up broken because of the situation that happened to her. And in a lot of cases, the child may tell the parent, and the parent's like, whatever, it didn't happen, forget about it, don't talk about it, or else. Okay? That happens. That was my situation. It's like, it didn't happen, you're a liar, da 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 da. Okay, no problem. But as you grow up, you start to realize this ain't right. This ain't normal. And a lot of times when things happen, no matter how long ago something happened, eventually it's going to catch up to you. Like that saying goes, whatever happens in the dark comes to light. Whether you deal with the issue or whether you don't deal with the issue, there's devastating consequences. And sometimes those consequences can be internal. Sometimes they manifest externally. So you may, as a result of something that you went through that you never got that help from, you may participate in behaviors that just aren't conducive to who you are or who you should be, because it's that thing that you never healed from. So you have to realize that sometimes, there are things, and I'll, for the sake of this video, call it generational curses. There are things that happen to your parents, right? And your parent may not have dealt with the issue. So the issue passed down to you. And sometimes it doesn't even really make sense to hold on to that anger to your parent, because sometimes your parent didn't know better, you know, and we're in a day and time where there's way more than enough resources for you to get the help that you need. And the thing about it is that you can't let it become your reality. Like, I've spent many years mad. Like, why didn't nobody help me? Why don't nobody believe me? Why? And as a result, in my 20s, like, my behavior, like, I'm surprised that I'm still alive to this day, because I participated in a lot of self-degrading activities that really put myself at risk. I put myself at risk physically. I put myself at risk mentally. I put myself at risk emotionally, until I decided to get help, you know. And I spent years, for me, in therapy, because number one, I had issues. Number two, I don't want these same issues to happen to my children. I don't want to pass on these issues to my children. I want my children to be good. I want my children to be able to live life. And no, I'm not perfect, but I don't want to pass things that happen to me on to them. So if my child comes to me and say, "Mommy, XYZ happened to me," I want to be able to go to bat for my children. I want to be able to defend my children. I never want my kids to say, "Oh, mommy didn't defend me." Okay? And that sometimes it would happen with people. They go through these situations and they're looking for someone to defend them, and they don't defend them. So when they get older, they participate in these certain behaviors, looking for that protection, looking for that attention that they did not get at that time where they were at one of their lowest points and no one was there to help them. You understand? So yeah, it's fine sometimes to sit there and blame somebody else, you know, and because a lot of times it's all that you know at that time. But you grow up and you grow wiser and you set the course of your own life. And if you catch yourself in time enough, you know, because let me tell you something, some people, it's like the curse has gone on for so many generations that sometimes if an outsider don't pull them out, they're going to drown. You know, so it's plenty of people that's right now, you know, taking psych meds because of issues that happened to them when they were young and they never got help. Like, every single person deal with issues differently. Like, I work in such a field professionally for the last 19 years where I actually have to listen to people's stories, and you would be amazed at the stories that I hear. And a lot of these stories stem from childhood, stem from teenagehood, where they had these issues that were passed on to them, and like, it was never addressed at that time, and they just couldn't deal with it to the point that it drove them like insane. You know, like, the drugs couldn't cover it up, or the alcohol couldn't cover it up, or lifestyle couldn't cover it up. And sometimes people crumble. So a lot of times when people are having their issues, never say, "I went through this, just get over it." It's not that easy for everyone. Mm-hmm. Some people are able to cope, some people are not. I always say Black people do not deal with mental health the way others and races do. You're absolutely correct. And you know, you just have to deal with your issues. So if you're an adult right now, and because, you know, like I said, this could go for mothers, fathers, whatever, but let me just read this quote again. Let me go back to my iPad and sign in. Heal your inner feminine by forgiving your mother for the time she let her own pain manifest into yours. Sometimes maybe your mama didn't know better, okay? Or maybe it was something that her mama passed on to her. And all through these years, they felt that everything was fine. And as a result, it trickled down to you, okay? I'm here to tell you. I am here to tell you. I am here to tell you. Let it go. And it's not going to be easy as 1, 2, 3. But I'm giving you permission to break that curse. Break break the curse. Break the curse. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take work. Let me tell y'all, I went to therapy for years. I did. I went to therapy for years to try to get over these issues, because my lifestyle was such and so that, like I said, I'm shocked that I'm even still allowed to talk about it, okay? I really am, because I was a hot mess, like hot mess express, okay? And it sounds funny, but I was really a hot mess. And I know people to this day that knew me in those times that I was a hot mess. And the reason why I like having them around to this day, because they are a witness to the kind of life that I lived. It wasn't an easy life. But I did the work. I had to be willing to go to therapy, and whether it was once a week, whether it was twice a week, I did the work. I went to therapy. I decided that I don't want this to go any further. I don't want to pass this on to my children. If my children have an issue, because like I said, I'm not perfect, but if my children have an issue, I don't want it to be my issue that I'm passing on to them. I want it to be their issue. And then if they have an issue, hopefully I can be able to either address it or send them to someone that can, because I'm not the professional on all things. So thank you so much, Herb. Thank you, Lester. So yeah, I'm just saying this to say to you, sometimes, you know, just don't blame your parents. 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 Like, you're grown, and there's way more than enough resources out here that you can use to get the help that you need. So, you know, if you want to speak to me specifically about something, my inbox is open. Feel free to inbox me, or send me a voice note. Like, I like doing voice notes, because like the typing is just too much, especially when it's a lot. Feel free to like reach out to me. But like I said, you know, we have way too many resources in this day and time for you to keep suffering, or for you to pass down something to your kid. Because just like you don't like how it felt when something was passed on to you, you don't want your child to have that same feeling. And you don't want them to have to learn the hard way, because guess what? Maybe you was able to get through it, but your child may not have that mental strength like you had to get through it. So they need help. So that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for listening to me, and I'll talk to you soon.